Okay, it is 7:54. I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session. Your pleasure. Motion by Mr. Simmons. Second by Mr. Livingston. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve the October 24th Common Council meeting minutes. It's your pleasure.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Foster. Second. Second by Mr. Decker. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. We have 3 items from executive session. The first is to entertain a motion of a notice of discipline when the employee's number will be put in afterwards in the council minutes. What's your pleasure? I have a motion by Ms. Newhouser. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Decker. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
2 abstentions. So carried. Next order of business is we have an offer to sell 88 Front Street for $50,500 under one condition that the building is brought to code within 1 year. What's your pleasure?
So moved.
1 year from closing. Thank you.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Siegel. Second.
Second.
By Mr. Livingston. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And tomorrow is the tax lien sale for the city of Port Jervis, and the Common Council is using its interest to hold 2 pieces of property that were recommended, 17-4-1.22 and 999-1-88. What's your pleasure?
So moved.
Second. Mr. Foster, second by Mr. Livingston. And during discussion, is that all correct? Okay. Well, that's what's written.
Yeah.
I just want to
I
make
don't know the numbers in my head.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Could you recommend you give the successor?
And this is of the recommendation of the
I know.
One of them is special franchise, which is just in wires somewhere, and I have no idea on that one. Or 999, which is the special franchise. The value on that?
Oh, no. I was more concerned with the location of
The railroad.
the railroad.
The railroad is over by Skyline and Wallfield.
Right, that section in there.
It's quite a few acres, we drove it, and,
Okay, between Skyline and the ball field where that small building is? Okay, all right, now I got it.
you don't have some other tax things that we're
Okay, I couldn't picture where it was, and I just
We
tried
had
to.
dealt with it, that'd be like awesome.
Okay, yes, all right.
And the question was we had a gentleman we were dealing with, just to give you a hint, Brooklyn Street was one of the properties. Is he on any of these liens?
No, you sure?
I don't think he's on there.
No. Okay, all right. All right, so we have the motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried, thank you. And that is it out of executive session. We move on to police and ADA update. Mr. Foster.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the October 27th meeting that you all should have received.
A motion by Mr. Foster. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Livingston. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Some of the highlights from the meeting is the chief reviews key statistics for the third quarter of the 2022, including Part 1 and Part 2 offenses and accident data. A crash study was conducted for the intersection of Orange and Canal Street based upon a request to implement a four-way stop intersection at the location. Between the time of October 3rd, 2017 through October 3rd, 2022, there have been 575 reportable accidents that occurred at all intersections within the city of Port Jervis. 7 accidents of the 575 accidents occurred at the intersection of Orange Street and Canal Street. There's been training going on with cellular telephone data, crime scene processing, school officer basic training, firearms. The department will be participating in a No Shave annual fundraiser. The department is planning to launch a police officer candidate recruitment effort to be anticipated civil service exam scheduled for September of next year. The committee reviewed a proposed change to the annual Christmas parade route. The department is working with the Orange County Sheriff's Office to host a multi-agency drill on December 10th at Bon Secours Hospital involving police, firearms, EMS, and other emergency service agencies. Also, the committee discussed concerns regarding parking conditions on Front Street. And the next police committee meeting will be on December 13th, 6:15, right here in the council chamber. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the October monthly report that you all should have received.
A motion by Mr. Foster. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Ms. Mann. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Some of the highlights of the report, incidences for the month was 893. Total domestics for the month was 41. Tickets issued was 175. Theft from motor vehicle was 9. Destruction and vandalism of property was 8, as well as drug and narcotic violations were 8, and driving under the influence was 9. Parking tickets issued was 13. Traffic tickets issued was 162, and unlicensed and suspensions was 46. ADA has not met yet. Our next ADA meeting will be on February 6th at 5:30 right here in the council chamber. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As you see, Ms. Miller is not here, so I will give the financial update. From the general account, $166,114.63. From the water fund, $20,731.79. From the sewer fund, $6,472.06. Capital fund, $119,693.11. Trust and agency, $25,184.97, for a total of $338,196.56. Some of the major expenses were general water and sewer funds, heavy repair LLC for $13,097.30. Avenue Insights and Clerk's Office Software, $22,581.04. Orange County Sanitary Landfill, $23,993.88. State Insurance Fund, $35,462.49. Capital Fund, Huff Cut Concrete, $25,200. Marshall Machinery Incorporated for the Kubota for recreation, $37,649.19. And Sternberg Lanterns, $24,794. What is your pleasure?
Motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Livingston. Second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Foster. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And that's all we have. Finance meeting will be this Wednesday, November 16th at 6 p.m. Okay, Mrs. Fuller, Fire Emergency Management.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 5 letters from the department, all dated November 7th of 2022. The first is a request. It's hereby requested that the below named person be approved for active membership into the Port Jervis Fire Department in the company stated below. Charles M. Connors, Excelsior Engine Company number 5. I'd like to make a motion that we approve Charles as a new member.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Fuller, second by Mr. Simmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
The second is, this is to request the below named member of the Port Jervis Fire Department and company herein stated be removed from active membership roles for the reasons stated below. Dennis A. Perrin II from Neversink Engine Company number 1, expelled for non-payment of dues and assessments. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the removal of Dennis from the rolls.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Fuller, second by Mr. Simmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
The third is, it is hereby requested that the below named person be approved for active membership into the Port Jervis Fire Department in the company stated below. William T. Imholtz for Mahogama Cook and Ladder number 1. I would like to make a motion that we approve William as a new member.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Fuller, second by Mr. Simmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
It is requested that firefighter Zachary S. Morris be approved as a driver for Mahogama Cook and Ladder number 1. This firefighter was tested in accordance with the proper requirements such as EBOC, pump operations, ladder operations, etc., as appropriate to the respective vehicle by Deputy Chief Dominic M. Zicalise and approved by the fire chief. I would like to make a motion that we approve Zachary Morris as a driver for the hook and ladder.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Fuller, second by Mr. Simmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And lastly, I have a request to remove the below named member, Gary W. Morgan, from Neversink Engine Company number 1. He passed away on October 8th of 2022. So I would like to make a motion that we accept the removal of Gary with the deepest regrets.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Ms. Fuller, second by Mr. Simmons. And yes,
Regret.
for deep
Yes.
regrets.
That's another one that we're going to sorely miss.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
I just have a reminder that Engine 2 is currently selling tickets for their Christmas raffle fundraiser. Tickets can be purchased from any member of Engine 2 during the months of November and December. And Fire and Emergency Management hasn't met since our last meeting, but our next meeting is next Monday, the 21st at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Before Ms. Mann starts, there's a mistake that I made on the agenda, and the zoning board rate will actually go below where it says planning and zoning for Mr. Decker. But Ms. Mann, tourism and IDA.
Thank you, Mayor. Tourism last met on November 9th. Chris Kinder Market will be held downtown on Sunday, November 27th from 10 to 6 p.m. There's nearly 100 vendors, entertainment, and plenty of food. The holiday lighting celebration has 2 categories, traditional or festive. You may mail your application or drop off your entries to the City Hall clerk or email pjlightingcontest@gmail.com. Entries are due by Tuesday, December 13th. There is no cost to enter. Judging will be held on Thursday, December 15th, starting at 6:30. Winners will be announced online and at the Common Council meeting. First, second, and third place winners will receive a certificate of recognition as well as exciting prizes. This year's holiday tree lighting will be held on November 26th at 5 p.m. here at City Hall on the Sussex Street side. If anyone has any further questions, you can email Tourism Chair Laura Meyer at tourism@portjervisny.gov. The next tourism meeting will be held on Wednesday, December 14th at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. The IDA has not met since their last meeting, and due to a lack of agenda items, they will not be meeting this month. And that's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Decker, Planning and Zoning.
Mayor, thank you. Planning Board has not met since its last meeting and will not meet on the 15th of this month due to a lack of an agenda. The next Planning Board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 20th at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. Zoning Board did not meet this month due to a lack of an agenda. The next Zoning Board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, December 6th at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. And I also have a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis to set the Zoning Board attorney fee rate. Whereas the City of Port Jervis Common Council appointed William E. Duque Jr. Esquire of Bluestein, Shapiro, Frank, and Barone LLP as the Zoning Board attorney on August 8, 2022. And whereas the council agrees to a compensation rate of $225 per hour for such services, now therefore be resolved that the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis hereby authorize the mayor and or his authorized representative to execute any and all necessary documents to hire William E. Duque Jr. Esquire of Bluestein, Shapiro, Frank, and Barone LLP as the Zoning Board attorney at the agreed upon hourly rate. And I make a motion to accept this.
I have a motion by Mr. Decker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Livingston. Discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Mr. McKay has some very, very big shoes to fill, replacing Mr. Fink, who was our zoning board attorney for a number of years.
Forever.
He was a great assistance when I was chairman of the zoning board. Bob was always on point, always knew what we needed to do, where we needed to go, and a great individual. Knew, I would say, hands down, the best zoning attorney in all of Orange County, and he'll be sorely missed.
And a gentleman.
And a great gentleman, yes.
I agree on Mr. Fink's excellent attorney, and just for the record, it's pronounced Duquette.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Mr. Livingston, DPW CDA.
Thank you, Mayor. Garbage and recycling for this week of the 14th, will be on its normal schedule. Next week, being Thanksgiving, is on Thursday. The normal schedule for the first and second ward will be Monday and Tuesday garbage pickup. Monday in the first ward, Tuesday in the second ward. The third and fourth ward garbage pickup will be on the 23rd, which is Wednesday. And paper pickup for the fourth ward will be on Monday, the 28th. The 2022 garbage schedule is available on the city website at www.portjervisny.gov or by emailing the DPW office at dpwclerk@portjervisny.gov. Every Monday, leaf pickup will resume until completed. Every Monday, loose leaf pickup will resume until we completed. The next DPW meeting will be held Monday, December 5th, 2022 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. I have a motion that I would like to make, two motions actually. One is for the assistant DPW has requested buyback days, and I'd like to make that a motion.
So it's five buyback.
Five buyback. No, he
No,
doesn't have
he
it.
does not, and I have it on here as carryover, but it's actually, it should be reversed. The
Right.
director is the
I got it,
carryover.
yeah.
Thank you.
So I'd like to make that a motion.
Motion by Mr. Livingston, second. Second by Mr. Decker. Discussion.
You want to repeat what that is?
So it's 5 buyback days, 5 holidays that he couldn't use, that the city will pay him for.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. Second was Mr. Decker.
And I'd like to also make a motion that the DPW director request to buy back 5 of his days and 1 carryover day.
Clarification on
one carry order. He's got to use it by March 31st.
I'd like to make that a motion.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Livingston, second by Mr. Siegel. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you.
CDA met on October 26th here in the council chambers. The September 28th meeting transcripts were approved with an income of $29,980 and expenses of $19,246. September's financials were approved. Per Section 8 report, with the purge completed, 287 families remained on a wait list, and 222 families are currently being served. This month, 11 waitlist families are seeking houses. As approved, the agency is reviewing possible use of extraordinary funding for special expenses. The public hearing to initiate a homeless preference is scheduled for November 17th at 6 p.m. at the Youth Center at 134 Pike Street, second floor. The director's report highlights included the WQIP with the initial survey complete. The ESA Phase 1 is being contracted. LSLRP, 3 completed homeowner agreements have been received. Urban Forestry, the final report and reimbursement were submitted. Wow. The CDBG Trenchless 2 relining project is now complete for the 2022 lining season. The EFC $20 million loan and the EFC WIIA grant submitted for up to $5 million, and this is we've already received the word on this. Each await the final plan, and that will be join the submitted engineering report. And on October 13th, Port Jervis was visited by German Consul Gill and 55 colleagues. Councilman at Large Siegel provided a historic overview of the city and its relationships to the railroad and D&H Canal. The next Port Jervis CDA meeting will be held Thursday, November 17th at 6 p.m. at the 134 Pike Street, second floor location. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Simmons, Code.
Thank you. Our last meeting was November 2nd, and I would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of that meeting.
And motion by Mr. Simmons. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Siegel. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So
Okay.
carried.
Our next meeting will be Wednesday, December 7th at 6:30 p.m. here in the council chambers. At this time, we should go ahead and set the public hearings.
So we're going to hold off on
The
consideration of 9 and 10 because we have to wait for 11 anyway. So you're going to set each of the public hearings to follow each other, but the public hearing for local law number 12 will follow the budget public hearing.
Right.
So you're going to set local law number 12 public hearing. Your motion.
Motion to
Do you have a
set that
second?
hearing.
Second by Mr. Livingston, and this is to amend 464 regarding sidewalks.
Yes.
All these are posted online for your viewing. The next one is local law number 13.
I vote on it.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Okay.
Set the public hearing for local law 13 of 2022. This will amend 403 peddling. Also posted. Mr. Simmons? Second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Livingston. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Sanders have that, or Mr. Livingston?
So carried, Mr. Livingston. The next one is to set public hearing local law 14 of 2022 to amend 231 on collection of fees. Motion
So moved.
by Mr. Simmons. Second by Mr. Decker. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And the last is set public hearing for local law 15 of 2022 and puts a 6-month moratorium on the Mountain Conservation District in the Waterfront Mixed Use District.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Simmons.
Second.
Second by Mr. Livingston. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And that law will be referred to Orange County Department of Planning under 239.
And you'll take care of that?
Yes, we'll work with the clerk's office on that.
Thank you. Hey, sir.
And that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Newhouser, Recreation.
Thank you. The recreation update, the 74th annual Halloween parade was held on Saturday, October 29th. It was a beautiful fall day and we had approximately 250 participants. Thank you to the Elks Lodge, ShopRite, and Fort Knox Storage for sponsoring the parade. Thank you also to the Recreation Commission, Port Jervis Police Department, Fire Department, the Volunteer Ambulance Corps, and the maintenance staff of the Recreation Department for their help and assistance. The Little Chefs at PJ Rec last class was held on Saturday, November 5th. The kids finished off the season making homemade pizza. We had our fall cleanup on Saturday, November 5th at 10 a.m. at Veterans Park. Thank you to the Port Jervis High School students and community members that attended and helped clean up the park. The Youth Community Center Recreation Room schedule for Thanksgiving week will be as follows. Monday, November 21st and Tuesday, November 22nd, 11:30 a.m. to 4:40 p.m. Closed Wednesday, November 23rd through Friday, November 25th. Our next teen night is scheduled for this Friday, November 18th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Teen night is for middle school students and 9th and 10th graders. The next Recreation Commission meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 16th at 7 p.m. at the Youth Center. I also need to make a motion to accept the resignation of the Youth Center cleaner, Bob Sayers, which would be effective November 30th, and approved Kenneth Conklin as the new cleaner to start November 21st, and just have Mr. Conklin train for 3 days with Mr. Sayers.
So you're making a motion to accept the resignation of Bob Sayers for cleaner.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Siegel. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And to hire Kenneth Conklin as the replacement cleaner with an overlap of, what is it, 3 days?
3 days.
3 days.
November 21st, 23rd, and 29th.
Motion by Ms. Newhouser. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Siegel. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you.
And then I also have a motion for the recreation director he has 8 unused vacation days and he's asking to carry over 3 days and be paid for 5.
And the motion
Second.
by Ms. Newhouser, second by Mr. Livingston. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Siegel, Housing and Veterans.
Thank you. It's getting late, so I'll try to make this quick. I'll have you out of here by 9:30.
That is quick for you.
Sorry. Housing Authority last met on Tuesday, October the 25th. The next meeting is scheduled for November 22nd at 7 p.m. at Hillside Terrace unless it's canceled because of the holiday. Veterans flu shots are available at the clinic. Just call and make an appointment, 845-856-5396. I'm sorry, 5369. 856-5369. All others, people should consider getting their shots too. The flu is going around now that COVID has died down. People are getting the flu. So, VFW 161 is hosting a Wednesday lunch every Wednesday for members and veterans from 11 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. It consists of a hot dog or a hamburger, with a beverage for only $6. Excuse me. The Veterans Day dinner was very nice once again. Thanks to the Elks for providing the dinner to our vets once again. It was great to get the guys together and enjoy the Veterans Day meal there. Veterans and Gold Star families can now get a free annual National Park Pass. The free lifetime military pass is available to military veterans and Gold Star families. The pass provides free access to more than 2,000 federal recreation areas, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. You can obtain one by going to nps.gov or visit any National Park Service location like Gray Towers in Milford. If you do it online, it costs you $10 for postage. If you drive to Gray Towers, it's free.
And it takes literally 30 seconds.
And if you have the senior pass, you don't need to get this one. This is an addition to the senior pass. And you get it once, and it's good for a lifetime. It's a great deal. The next budget hearing, again, is November 28th. It's at 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers. We'd like to hear your thoughts on next year's budget increase, which is currently at 7%. Next senior club meetings is November 23rd and December 14th at 1:30 p.m. at the Fellowship Hall in West End. I posted the current HEAP guidelines on my Facebook page. If you need a copy and you don't have Facebook, you can email me at stansiegel2@gmail.com. I'll be glad to send it. I also sent it out to my calendar list. If you'd like to be on my monthly calendar list, send me an email and I'll put you on that list as well. And finally, condolences to the families of fellow class of 65 classmates, Kathy Geib Dickinson and Ted Kuykendall. I have plenty of fond memories. Rest in peace, Kashka and Teddy. Rest in peace. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Public comment. Second public comment. Do we have any? Not hearing any. I'll move on to mine, which will be literally seconds. All right, you have in front of you a consideration for pet photos with Santa at Hose 4. What's your pleasure?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Foster, second from Mr. Simmons. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. What's that?
That's fun.
Okay. I have a consideration for the Toys for Tots program at the turntable. What's your pleasure?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Livingston, second by Mr. Foster. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I have for your consideration to put out a request for proposal for IT services for 2023. What's your pleasure?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Was that Simmons?
Yes, sir.
And second by Mr. Siegel. Discussion.
We need to put a date in here
Um,
when you want them returned by. The proposals are drafted.
Right.
The RFPs are drafted. We just need to, the council needs to decide when they want the return date so they can be sent to the clerk's office.
That's in the packet.
no. No. So,
The date's blank.
so we probably should.
You want to give it a few weeks from the time it's published.
Yeah, well, and we won't look at it until the beginning of the new year, so, because we traditionally don't have the second meeting in December. And so, we can make it like 15th of December. That's a month.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So I'll
yeah, you did it.
Amend
amend
your
my motion.
Mr. Siegel.
So December
Yes.
15th, by 3 p.m. that day?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. And we also, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. You also have for consideration a request for proposal for professional engineering services for the city. Same thing, return date by December 15th and 3 p.m. on that.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Livingston,
Second.
second by Mr. Foster. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I have motion here, but it's really just I just do this as an acceptance of a resignation by Conrad Savary. I believe he relocated and he has to give up his position on the Port Jervis Recreation Commission. So I have a letter drafted to him to send to him, and in his place to take the term to expire, I'm appointing Sean Addy to the Recreation Commission to fill that expired term. Yeah, that unexpired term, sorry. And that'll be sent to him. Your consideration, I have today been given the resolution of the Common Council, so I'll read it to you in case you haven't seen it. It is from our environmental attorney. Whereas the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation at New York State EFC has notified the mayor by letter agreement dated November 9, 2022, that the city has been awarded a New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Grant in the amount not to exceed $4,562,500 to be used by the city to implement a portion of the city's CWSRF project number C3-5396-03-00 sewer main relining and manhole rehabilitation. Whereas under the terms of the WIAA grant program, the $4,562,500 grant is to be used by the city to reduce the city's New York State EFC $20 million loan commitment by up to 25% of the $20 million CWSRF sewer main and relining project. And whereas through the use of the WIAA grant, the city shall borrow nearly $5 million less under the EFC loan commitment. And whereas city representatives currently are consulting with EFC representatives to work out the final terms of the WIA grant and the EFC loan commitments, but the award of the WIA grant should make it possible for the city of Port Jervis to carry repayment of an approximately $15 million EFC loan over either 30 or 40-year repayment plan. The exact term of repayment is yet to be determined. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis hereby agrees and directs the mayor or his designee to execute the attached November 9, 2022 letter agreement to acknowledge and accept the WIIA grant award on behalf of the city and deliver the executed letter of agreement by email to the New York State EFC as directed by the letter by no later than December 2nd deadline for grant acceptance. And be it further resolved that the mayor or his designee is hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all grant and contract documents, including but not limited to financing documents with New York State EFC to obtain the WIIA grant. And the Common Council hereby approve the expenditures of all reasonable and customary sums to close on the grant funding transaction and to effectuate the intent of the resolutions. I need a motion for that.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Simmons.
Second.
Second by Mr. Decker. Discussion?
Yes. Question.
Yep.
Are we required now to borrow that full $15 million or up to $15 million with this grant?
Okay, so what happens is if we don't borrow the $15 million, the grant gets reduced. It's a percentage reduction. All right, so let's say if we, just hypothetically, we only borrow $10 million, then the grant will be reduced by an amount that would equate to the $10 million rather than the $15 million. But the project, the loan project is a $20 million.
Right. I understand that.
Okay. Any other
Thank
questions?
you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. One absent, right? Okay. Okay, consideration of, oh wait, I don't need the, oh yes I do. Consideration to approve the short EAF of Orange Square. For those of you that might not know, we have a $150,000 SAM grant that was given to us by Senator Skoufis, and upon putting together the project, we realized that the property was never owned by anybody. There's no deed to Orange Square. So we just took ownership to this Orange Square, but because we're going to be doing the modifications to the property, we have to do this short environmental. So I need a motion to approve the short EAF.
So moved. Mr. Mayor,
Sure.
let's have that motion, a couple of things in this motion. Number one, authorizing you in the first instance to execute a quitclaim deed on behalf of the city for title to officially go into the city by recording the proper transfer documents with the Orange County Clerk. Number B in this resolution or motion is to declare the Common Council as lead agency for seeker purposes to make a determination on the environmental significance or lack thereof of the Orange Square Veterans Park project. And then number three, part of this motion, or item C, is a negative declaration under seeker on the short environmental assessment form that there will be no adverse environmental impacts with respect to the grant project. That's it.
Okay, now motion.
So moved.
Mr. Simmons, second by Mr. Livingston. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you.
You can sign the EAF.
Okay. There was a lot of bounce back information. The intent of the Tri-State Chamber of Commerce was to do a nighttime parade that a lot of people had apparently discussed with them over several years. Quite frankly, and anybody that knew Rick Drew would probably like it because it's all going to be lights and stuff like that. But they moved it to 5 p.m. However, they wanted the parade route changed, and there were some concerns about lighting in the borough of Matamoros. So they had changed the route several times. Finally, the Westfall Fire Department had come forward to offer them the consideration to, I guess they purchase temporary or renting temporary lighting. So the parade will be going through Port Jervis and will be going through Matamoros. So the route has changed in Port Jervis. They wanted to make sure that it went down Front Street, downtown Front Street. So the official route of the parade lineup starts at 4 p.m. on Sussex Street and Hammond Street in front of City Hall. It will be heading to Fowler Street. From Fowler Street to Jersey Avenue. Jersey Avenue up, and it becomes Front Street, over the underpass, under the underpass, and out to the borough of Matamoros. So that will be the route that will be taken, and I think it ends again in the Matamoros firehouse. Okay, so that's going to be official now. And I think they put it out. I think I got a couple of notices today from them. I know there was an announcement about the holiday tree lighting, but I just want to remind people that it'll be Saturday, November 6th at 5 p.m., and it'll be right here at City Hall on the side, on the Sussex Street side. We have a large blue spruce? Or Douglas fir? Okay. Out on the side, and because it's a large tree, we thought that would be a nice gesture for the holiday season, brought up by the tourism board.
What time?
That is at 5 p.m. And Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there, and Salvation Army will be serving hot chocolate and the snacks like they always do. The announcement for the Rick Drew holiday tree lighting will be December 2nd at 6 p.m. I think that's a Friday, right? Yeah, Friday, December 2nd, 6 p.m., and that is in the West End Park, down in West End. And that is all that I have. No, because we have to wait for the notification to go out to the owner. 62 Sussex, we have to wait for the notification.
No. Make a motion to have that hearing with the owner.
Oh, I'm sorry, the public hearing, right?
It's not a public hearing, it's just a board hearing. Make a motion for a board hearing with respect to the demolition and removal of the structure at 62 Sussex Street with notification to the record owner of the property in accordance with Chapter 234 of the City Code. That's the motion.
Okay, so I have a motion. I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Simmons.
Second.
Second by Mr. Siegel. Discussion. And that'll be right after all the public hearings on November 28th. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. And I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Mann. Motion by Mr. Livingston. Second. Anybody want to leave?
Second. Third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. The date of the parade is December
Fourth.
the 2nd.
Yes.
Third.
Third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the tree.
Yeah, they always light the tree too, the Friday before the parade.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I've always said that.
I thought it'd be later than 9 o'clock.
We still have a lot of stuff on the 28th, though. We got all those public hearings now. That's the 65. It's really getting